up in the corner.
Right.
Here we are. No, we
There
are
we
not.
are.
There we go. We are now
We are
live.
now
Ha
live.
ha.
Okay, we are. Look, guys, if I disappear on you, it is because of. I think I'm coming down with a cold, so I might be
Oh.
either coughing or sneezing. And if I disappear, I shall return. I shall
Okay,
Okay.
return.
because look,
Victorious. Yes, I will.
it
Yes, I
was the Ruth show about 2 weeks ago. You
I
weren't
know,
there.
right?
Victoria dropped out. So,
I was like, oh Lord.
We
The
got
stupid
everything
internet.
lined up for tonight. Ruth, you're going to go first for the
mhm.
weekend review. Victoria, you will be next, and I'll come in on the back end and start with Miss Lisa's bio. I'm excited about tonight. I loved
Yes,
her
it's
book, didn't
going
you?
to be wonderful.
Really,
Yes.
really loved
Yes.
it, and I think it's gonna. I think the readers are gonna enjoy hearing about these wildlife divas. This is it's great
I'm
All right,
excited too.
everybody.
fun. Great fun.
Time to roll the open.
All right.
All righty.
You guys
All
have a
Thank
right.
great show.
you.
Thank you, Alan. Hello, 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 hello. How
Hello.
are you, Ruth? How are you, Victoria? Hey there, Trelyn. Good evening to you. We see Francina's in the house. Good evening,
Yes, yes,
Francina. Glad to have you in the house tonight.
Mhm.
This is
yes.
Authors Up for any of you who don't know where you've tuned in and why you have these three women looking back at you. We
That's
are
right. Who
Authors
them? Who them, Harpo?
Hey,
Up. Victoria. It is way too early.
Okay,
Just
okay. I'm sorry.
say, go back in the box. Go back. Hey there, Angie Oliphant. Good to have
Yes,
you with us tonight. We welcome you to Authors Up, for
yes, we do.
authors, by authors. And we just have a wonderful guest that's going to be on with us tonight and sharing her book with us tonight. We're
hmm
really excited about it. Glad that she's going to be with us. She's just a delightful lady. So it'll be a good time. It'll be a good time.
absolutely.
Yes,
Great
yes. Please
story.
share it now. Please like and share now, Facebook peoples.
That's it.
That's right. That's
That's
right.
it.
And
Get 'em in
we don't
Go
want to
ahead.
forget the rest of our audience either. The
Yes,
one
That's right.
across the country and around the globe.
And
yes.
We are
Welcome,
around the globe.
welcome,
grateful
welcome.
for you. Welcome.
Yes,
Absolutely.
our
Absolutely.
podcast peoples too.
That's right.
We can't forget these folks, right?
Yeah, we
We
appreciate them.
we
As
welcome
you,
them and
mm-hmm.
hope sometimes that they will send us little notes and talk back to us so that we can greet them properly
Yeah.
when
Absolutely.
they come on and share with us. Well, you know how we always get started, listeners. We get started with telling you about our week in review. We're going to start with Ruth tonight. Ruth,
Tell
what
them,
what
Ruth.
you been up to, Ruth?
Same old, but this week was really special. I was able to shoot an interview with
Yay!
a local magazine, and um, I will be the featured uh, article in their May edition.
Well,
So
we are so proud of you.
thank you.
Congratulations.
So
What
Yes.
what else will happen with that May edition? Hello.
So I will be on the cover.
Cover. Oh, the cover.
You
Yeah.
just
Cover
go
girl
ahead.
right
You
here.
just go
So
ahead, cover girl.
yeah, so there'll be an article in there, and there will also be video on their website. So obviously, I will be sharing that. Thank you, Francina.
Oh my
I'll be
goodness.
sharing more information closer we get to the date, and
Oh my gosh.
I'm excited
You
because
should be.
we'll be
Cover.
collaborating with them as well for new opportunities for our authors. So really,
Five
wow.
snaps and 3 circles. I can't snap. I got a little author in my finger.
Oh God, why are you so special? We still love you though.
I got a little author right there. It hurts, but I'm still trying to snap. I'm a girl. That is awesome, Ruth. On the
Thank you.
cover, I can't
Thank
wait.
you.
I'm
Yeah.
so excited.
Yeah, I am excited. I'm excited. Mhm.
Stop laughing at me. Stop laughing.
I just never quite know what you're gonna do next.
Honestly, I don't think she quite knows what she's gonna do
I don't
next.
think so. I don't think so
I'm
either.
just trying to snap, and it wasn't coming out.
Well,
That author
snap
right
into
there.
your weekend review. What
Okay.
what was your weekend review
My
like?
weekend review was about the author. I discovered. First of all, y'all got to pray for your girl. The
We do.
elevator in my building does not work. Okay, and I discovered that my knees and my ankles is having a flare up of the author. So I went to the doctor, and he confirmed that it is arthritis in my knees and my ankles. Now I got to get seriously about losing some of this weight, because I know it might not go. It's not gonna go away, because we know how author is. But if I could lose some of the weight to get some of the weight off my frame, I know it would be better for me, and I'd have a better life. So I'm going to be embarking on that, and ask your prayers and good thoughts and everything you could throw my way, because this pain, it's not good. but I have been making it up those steps, making it to work. Had a pretty productive week with work.
Awesome.
And I got a little disappointment at work. There was an office that I wanted, right? And I didn't get it, right? And so I was disappointed, but I was feeling sorry for myself for like 2.5 minutes. And then I said, no, it's okay, because I still have a place in the building, right? Still have a place in the building. I'm not in the parking lot. Parking lot means I'm going home. So I'm not in the parking lot. So I still got much to praise God for. My knees may hurt, my ankles may hurt, but I got a seat in the building, and that's all right. That's a song. As long as I know I got a seat in the kingdom, that's all right. So by the end of the week, I was feeling pretty good. Oh, I'm all right. I'm all right.
Very good. Very good. Well, that's good, and we like your attitude, Victoria.
Yes. I am victorious. I am what my name means. So yes.
All right now, lady, you need to be careful. Don't hurt nothing now. I'm trying to snap your fingers. Francina said, for every pound lost is 4 pounds off your joints.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Hey, yeah, thank you for that. And that's good motivation. Thank you. You're absolutely correct.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, thank you.
Definitely something to keep you going.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
what about you?
Well, tomorrow is my day.
Oh yeah. I don't know why I had to think about what you were doing.
I got to snap again. We got a book release.
The train will be leaving the station tomorrow. I need my publisher, Miss Ruth Griffin, and I are going to have a conversation after this program. So I'll have everything where it needs to be, and you all will be able to order the book. I was so
excited.
we would be able to do pre-orders. It didn't turn out that way. I'm not mad about it. God has a reason for it. His
Yeah.
timing is always perfect. So if it is not to be until tomorrow, so be it. I am still just as excited as I can possibly be. I think I've gotten some nice comments in advance of the release. So I know a lot of you out there are just as excited about it as I am, that it is finally coming to pass. It's finally going to be released, and I'm excited.
I'm excited. We are excited. Another book.
Yes. Not just that it's done, but the fact that so many of you are anticipating it. And I really, really want you to enjoy it. I want you to have a good time reading it. And I want you to make comments on Amazon if you like it. If you don't like it, I don't want
don't
you
say
to.
nothing. There you go. There you go. You don't have nothing.
No,
nothing
we grown. We can take the criticism,
but
we do prefer the good comments.
Yeah.
But
if you can't say something nice,
don't say it at all.
Especially on Amazon.
That's right. Say y'all say something nice about
I don't know what is
girl's
happening
book
to us tonight, because we're just way out of the box here, and we're gonna rein it all back in, because we have a lovely guest with a beautiful book, and I'm getting ready to tell you a little bit about her now. Her name is Lisa M. Randolph, and she's an avid rock fossil hunter. A 25-year Fortune 500 company retiree, later program coordinator and mentor for a nonprofit organization for at-risk girls, and a young reader's author. After 45 plus years of publishing aspirations, she's ready to introduce the Wildlife Divas Representation Matters. Lisa is passionate about bringing inclusive and empowering stories to young readers, especially Black girls.
Full of real setbacks that minority children experience, she's ready to show that there's a world beyond their neighborhood and that they are capable enough to be whoever they want to be. Inspired by zoologists and wildlife conservation experts, Miss Randolph has traveled the world. Now she's bringing the world to young, voracious readers. When we come back from this brief break, you will get to our guest for the evening, Miss Lisa M. Randolph.
Welcome.
Hi, thank you, Ruth, thank you, Andrea, thank you, Victoria, thank you for having me. Thank you.
Our
pleasure.
We are so happy that you could join us. We are. Now, you were referred to us by Iolani Bullock. If our audience remembers, she wrote Lennox Takes Flight.
Yes.
And she just had a glowing review, not just about your book, Wildlife Divas Adventure Team, which we'll be discussing tonight, but also about you, Lisa.
Yes.
Yeah. So we are excited to have you here. And let's start with your book. Tell us about it.
Oh my gosh. So my book, this has been, like it says, it's been a 45-year aspiration of, wanting to write, not realizing that writing could be a career. I went through life, I worked, I retired, I worked again, I re-retired. And so this publishing of the book has been about 10 years in the making. My actually writing and working on the book. The last 5 years, I've been trying to get it published. I've gotten rejected several times.
Mhm.
And then I got into the program at Georgetown and it just took off. And I have a book in my hand right now, like
Oh, that's
right now.
Yes. Lift it up. Let us see it.
absolutely. Look. I even had to go get a copy myself. And I have to say this, look, I know we tell people not to judge a book by its cover, but I definitely judged your book and I was like, oh, that is so beautiful. I need to get a copy of it.
Yeah.
And it's so we have, 5 little girls, an adventure team go to Africa to save the gorillas. And we'll get more into that, but please tell us about your cover because it is just gorgeous.
Well, like representation matters.
Mhm.
And so I wanted little Black girls, when they pick up this book, I want them to see themselves. There's a girl with braids in her hair. There's one with an updo. There's one with little Afro puffs. And so I wanted little Black girls to see themselves when they pick this book up. They go, oh my gosh, she looks like me. She looks like my sister. She looks like my friend. And I wanted them to see themselves because we're not really represented
Mhm.
in children's literature. And I've never seen a cover like this. Like one of my assignments was to go find a book like mine. So I went to the library, I went to the bookstores, and I'm combing the shelves, and I'm like, there's nothing like this. And I was kind of afraid when I went back. I was like, look, I looked and there's nothing. And my professor went, I know.
Oh.
And I
Mm.
was like, oh. He said, and that's a good thing. This is a first.
I
So
love
Wow.
I'm very excited about it.
That is amazing. So tell us, because we've had a few other children's authors on, and it always seems to be an adventure to find an illustrator to work with.
Yes.
Mhm.
Well,
So
that's an interesting story. So I actually met my illustrator. Her name is Sophia Russo. I met her in Peru when I was on vacation. I know.
okay.
It's the most amazing thing, right? So my girlfriends and I, we went down to Peru on vacation, and there was this little eatery that we went to every morning for breakfast. And the waiter there, this young guy, and he was telling us how he wanted to come to the United States, and then his girlfriend was an artist, and she wanted to come to San Francisco. Okay, well, that's where I was living, so it was perfect. So she came up, we sat down, and we drew out every character in the book, every story, every chapter, everything. And she did a masterful job. I
Yeah.
couldn't have asked for a better, yeah. So she's going to be illustrating my next book as well. So
Oh,
Okay. Good. Just let us know because we'll be the first to purchase it and have you back
Exactly.
on and you can
thank
talk
you.
about it. So that is just awesome. So now I was told to ask you about your trip to Uganda.
Oh my. Well, I just got back from Uganda in October. I ended up celebrating my birthday, my 50th birthday. I celebrated there in Uganda. And it was the most wonderful trip I've ever had in my life. One of the most beautiful places I've ever visited. They always tell us, they give us these narratives about Africa and they kind of scare
Mhm.
you and intimidate you about it. It was the most beautiful place.
Mm.
And they say, well,
Wow.
what about the food? I had to take, shots for foodborne illnesses and all this other stuff. The food, when I say fresh, you want pineapple juice? They get the pineapple out of the field, they squeeze the juice, they put it on the table in front of you.
Wow.
No additives, no preservatives,
Yeah.
oh,
no, just pure food in its natural form. It was the best food I've ever eaten in my life, I tell you.
Oh.
And then
Wow.
being able to experience gorilla trekking in the rainforest, just like my book is talking.
You did it.
Oh my gosh. So I wrote the book first. So I did all my research online. Everything was researched. I didn't get a chance to experience being in the jungle with the gorillas until September.
Wow.
It was so funny how it happened. I was on Instagram one night, and I saw someone post about the Bwindi impenetrable forest. And I was like, I've never seen anybody, post about this before. So I messaged the person and we started this conversation. And it happened so that he was a safari tour owner operator.
Oh, wow.
Come on now. I have a lot of amazing stories to tell about this. So,
Well, keep going.
Mhm.
so, fast forward, I ended up in Uganda. I ended up trekking into the rainforest. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I was like, "Woo, I am out of shape." But I got a chance to sit and see these very gorillas that I write about, that I'm trying to bring little girls interested in conservation of animals, because you never see Black children saving anything.
Mhm.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
We don't do conservation. We don't do
Mhm.
animals, but we
Mhm.
will be doing
Right.
it now. And so, and so one of my experiences, I have the video too. Like, I'm taking a picture. I'm recording the silverback gorilla. He's like, I don't know, maybe 20 feet away from me, and I'm recording the silverback. And then all of a sudden, the guide said something, and the next thing you see is my camera waving, going, and I'm running, right? Like, I just gotta move real fast. And a female gorilla, passed right in
Oh
front of me,
my
just like this,
God.
and just went on about her merry way. That was the that was the
Wow.
scariest, most thrilling moment of my life. Oh my God!
Oh,
It was incredible. It
Oh
was
my
incredible.
gosh.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
Oh, that was something else. But yeah.
Okay. All right.
I was going to ask, how close did you get to the gorilla? But you
Oh
answered
yeah.
that.
Yeah. I could have reached out and touched her. That's how close she was.
Oh,
oh my
wow.
Wow.
And they're
Wow.
wild. They're not like, they're not zoo animals. They're in their
Yeah,
natural
yeah.
habitat. And I was
Right, right.
invading their space. I have one picture where I was taking this one. She was sitting by a tree, and I was like, click, 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 and she turned and looked at me, and she looked me dead in the eye. She was like, uh-huh.
Take one more. Take one more.
I was like, okay, let me go back over here with the group. Thank you. Thank you for the pictures. Thank you, ma'am.
Wow.
It was magnificent.
Mm,
Yeah.
Oh
That
my
is
God.
incredible.
God.
So let me ask you, because you have, was it 5 little girls and their teacher?
Yes.
Where did you get the inspiration for each personality? Because they were all different, but they were just
Mhm.
amazing.
Yes. So I work for a nonprofit after school program,
Hmm.
and these girls would come into the program, and everyone labels our children as troublesome, behavioral
Mhm.
issues,
Hmm.
that sort of thing. And they have them, granted, given the circumstances under which they live, and situations they come from, they do have behavioral issues. But I could see underneath all that, and
Hmm.
I could
Yeah.
see their brilliance, and I can see what they're capable of, and that's what I focus on. I didn't focus on their misbehavior. I focused on what they were good at. And
Hmm.
so I tell this story, but I had one, she hacked their school computer and changed her grade. And I was like, no, you can't do but you can't do that. You can't do that. That's not good. And I'm like,
Yes.
look.
Yes, she could.
She shouldn't, but she
She should,
could.
but she could.
I was like, you can't do that. Oh, that was good. Okay. And then I have another one. She was like maybe 8. And when I say a math genius,
Really.
but in that classroom, she was a mess. But that girl could do math. So all my characters, I focus on their strengths, not their weaknesses.
Hmm.
And
Yes.
and so what actually made this trip, this book, was we went on a camping trip. So every end of summer we go camping for 3 days. And we went on this
Oh.
camping trip in Half Moon Bay, which is just right. It's about 30 minutes from San Francisco. It's right on the ocean. And we were out looking for just like in the book, a scavenger hunt. And we found a seagull wrapped in fishing line. And
Mm.
so me and my little group of girls, we were trying to catch it, save it, cut it out, cut it away from the line. And that's where the book idea came from. Like, why can't these little girls not only save a seagull, but you know what? Let's go beyond that. Let's make them save creatures that are on the critically endangered list, that are facing
Mhm.
extinction, and they're going to bring them from the edge of extinction. These powerful little girls are going to do that. And
Mm.
Yeah.
that's where the story comes from. That's
Yes.
that's the inspiration. So I incorporated science, technology, engineering, arts,
Yes, you
math
did.
into
Mhm.
the storyline, and I
Mhm.
gave each girl one of those strengths. She's a
Mhm.
scientist. She wants to be a scientist. She wants to be in technology. So
Yes.
that's how That's how I did it.
And you did it. You did
Yeah,
it.
yes. I think that's what I loved about the book because, you'd be reading along and it's their adventure and it's their everyday thing. And then you drop like scientific knowledge and it's just like part of the conversation. I'm like, oh, I just learned something. Okay.
Oh my gosh, I love that. See, that's it right there. Whenever I hear that you've learned something, that is the essence behind this book, is that you've learned something. Not just you, but if I get a child to
Hmm.
open their mind and see a different possibility, and I always say that, we're lawyers and teachers and we encourage our children to do these types of things, but I want them to know also that there's alternatives. You can be
That's right.
you can love collecting rocks and hunting for rocks. That's what I do. I climbed 8,000 feet for turquoise. Like a nut, but it's okay. I got turquoise. And you can be a zoologist, and you can be an ecologist and a conservationist. And I just want them
Hmm.
to know that there are other options out there for them.
Hmm. Well, I think you did a tremendous job. And I don't want to hog the interview, but I love the book. I love the cover. I'm gonna keep telling everybody that. The beautiful cover. So yeah, but I'm gonna hand it over to Andrea, just to be
I,
fair.
well, she knows how much I love the book, and
Oh
when
my
I
God.
came when we got together this evening, I said I felt like I was in the middle of this great history lesson that
Mhm.
was hidden and wrapped around this lesson with were these delightful characters, and I just love them all, especially Storm. Storm was probably my favorite.
Hmm.
I like that name, and I loved her personality. She was really something,
Yes, Lord.
and just everything was the challenge there. She was a piece of work, but she
Don't play with her. Don't play.
was brilliant in her own right, just all the characters and everything. It's interesting to me that you wrote the book prior to your trip.
Yes.
You surprised that you got it right? I mean, based on your experience when you went, you had to sit back at some point and say, "I nailed this," because your experiences, if they were anything like what the little girls went through, and for it to have been after
Hmm.
Yeah.
opposed to before and part of your research, how did you feel about that?
Well, I'd say I was maybe 97% correct about it. I was very, and I would surprise myself sometimes. I was like, man, I got this right. I got that part right.
Mhm.
There was one part in there where I talk about, there's a recipe, it's a breakfast, katago, that they
Mhm.
eat in Uganda. And so when I was at one of the safari lodges in the Queen Elizabeth National Park, I'm saying that right. So so when we were at the restaurant at the lodge, I was asking the guys there, "Do I have this right? Do I have this recipe right?" They're like, "No, no, you need to. But this is the main ingredient. This is second. This is third. But this is the main ingredient. So just change that around a little bit." And that was
Wow.
it. Just little things like that.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Mhm. Now, I know that you said that this. Tell me just a little bit more about this program at Georgetown and how it helped you.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness. So so right up before I got into the program, before I got accepted into the program, I had done a pitch with a literary agent, and she loved it. She's like, "Oh my God, I love this book." She's like, I need you to query me. Just send me a message. I want to talk to you. This is it. This is book. This is book is something. I want my girls to read it. I want to read it." And I was like, "Woo! Wow, this is about to happen." And then 9 months later, she rejected the book.
Hmm.
Well,
So yeah, so that door closed and another door opened.
Hmm.
Mm.
And so a friend, she recommended that I get into the program, and I went kicking and screaming. I was like, nobody wants to hear this story, I was talking myself out. I'm old. Nobody wants, I'm too old to get in this. And I went and I applied, and the professor was like, "Oh my God, this story. You need to be in this program." And I was like, "Wow, okay, okay, well here I come." And the program, it's so disciplined, and I needed that. I needed
Hmm.
that discipline to get the story. I needed those deadlines set to get the
Mhm.
story done and published. And here it is. So December, the book came out, and I'm still like reveling, like, oh my God, I did it. I finished it. This is 10 years in the making, and now it's done. So,
Wow.
But you know what, Lisa, and I really want all of our listeners to pay attention to that, because sometimes we let a rejection, particularly when somebody has hyped it up and pushed you up and they're moving you forward and you're feeling so good about what you've already done, and then to have that same person that sounds like what was preached today at church, but that same person who put you up on that pedestal will come and
Mhm.
kick the table, the chair right out from under you. And it's so easy at that point to think that it's not any good. It's not going to work. I
Mhm.
put all this into it, and it's
don't
not
believe
gonna
them.
happen.
Mhm.
know,
Don't believe them.
but to keep going. So that's the message of the night. Keep
Yes.
going. Do not get discouraged. Do
I,
not let rejection of one person determine the rest of what you are trying to do. Because if it got that far, it's meant to go farther. Don't
Amen.
don't stop. Don't quit on your dream. Keep going. Victoria decided to try to applaud rather than snap her little fingers.
That's it. That's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
we'll just go to a little.
But I am telling you, that is a tremendous a message in and of itself.
Yes.
Because sometimes if it doesn't happen quickly enough, we don't think it's going to happen at all. And if
and
the
it's,
person who said it was great now turns around and rejects it, then that's another blow. But if you had not kept going, you would have deprived us of a wonderful story.
Mhm.
And it is a wonderful, wonderful story. And I appreciate the fact that you had the will and the tenacity to keep going. So you hear that, listeners? Keep going. Do not quit. There's a
Right.
dream in you. Get it
Yes.
out, dust it off.
it was even more difficult than that. My husband died in the middle of it. So
Oh.
my husband
Oh,
passed away
wow.
in July.
Mhm.
And when I went to report his death to my company, because I'm retired, but I still have benefits,
Right.
they reported me deceased and
Oh
not my
my.
husband.
Oh.
So I was dead. I was dead on paper. I was dead.
Oh my gosh.
So while I'm grieving, and then I find out I'm dead, I just decided. I went through a gamut of emotions. I went through every emotion you can imagine. I wanted to give up. I wanted to lay down. And then one day it just kicked in. And I said, you know what? Consider this a rebirth.
Mhm.
Amen.
Mm.
Consider
Amen.
this rising from the dust.
Wow.
Consider this the phoenix rising.
Mhm.
Everything you denied yourself, everything you were afraid of, everything you were too afraid to step forward and step out of the box, no more. This is a rebirth.
All right.
So, that's right.
Woo. Amen.
I'm done. I don't have any more questions. I don't have any more comments. I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done. Thank you,
Oh.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Woo.
So, yeah, I am the
Victoria,
phoenix
you got
rising.
it from here, lady.
Well, I'm supposed to say something after that. Okay. Woo.
Mama.
Just
Mama.
pass out the plate. Pass the plate. Get it offered up. Because she just preached a word right there.
Yeah,
Woo. Rebirth.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
I'm
Mm.
reborn.
I love it. I love it. I
Oh my
believe
gosh.
this book is just what was needed at this time.
Mhm.
I want to know a little bit that this is your first book, correct?
Yes.
What have you been writing prior to this book? Because the way this book is written, you are not a novice to writing. So, what was your path to your writing path to this book? Because you've written some stuff before this.
Well, no, not really, not as far as a novel is concerned. I tried to
Yes.
write one once before, and my computer crashed. I lost everything, so I never tried again.
Oh.
Okay.
And that was years ago.
Yeah.
But I started writing, or someone noticed my writing when I was about 12 years old, and I got called to the principal's office. I was like, I do nothing wrong. I was the goody two shoe kid. I didn't get in trouble. I didn't get called to the principal's office or anything. But I got called to the principal's office, and it was for an award for an essay I'd written. And I was just like, I was in shock. I was like, wow. And so as I went through high school, they would use my writing as examples.
Wow.
Even when I started college, they were like, oh my God, that what you just read? Oh my God. They're crying. I'm like, what's wrong with everybody?
The power.
I didn't know, right. I didn't know the power. And I had a kid, I was, married, I had a home, I had a job. And so I didn't think about writing. Writing was on the back burner.
Yeah.
So when I say 45 years of writing, aspirations, I mean that. Like, so it wasn't until the program that I was with the girls that I said, you know what, let me try my hand at this again.
Wow.
Let me try it again. Because I saw what these girls needed. And it was so funny because when we have reading hour, they would always go to this one particular group of books. It was about a little Black girl and her hair.
Mm.
And they would read that book over and over again. I said, okay, so there's a need here.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and that's what's happened, that's how
Wow.
So I'm not a novice. It's in here.
Yeah.
You're just
I
a
knew.
late bloomer. That's all right.
That's it.
That's it. I'm a late bloomer.
Sure, I am too. And didn't even realize it. My book was published and I was in my 50s, and I'm like, is this a dream come true?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
didn't see it that way. But there's somebody who needs to read this story. And listeners, my tagline: get the book. Get the book. It is beautiful inside and out.
Yes, it is.
When you talk about representation matters, I don't remember growing up having a book that made me think I could go to Uganda and see an elephant, let alone the gorillas. So it's just a beautiful book. Please tell our listeners how they can get the book and how they can get in touch with you if they would like to.
Okay. Well, the book is on Amazon, of course. It's on Amazon. It's at Walmart.com. It's at Barnes and Noble. It's on Goodreads. It's on Ingram Spark.
Mm-hmm.
So it's out there.
It's out there. All right.
It's not in stores yet. Like, I haven't seen it on any shelves yet, but
okay.
.com, it's everywhere.
It's coming.
And it's coming. It's coming.
This book has to be on somebody's shelves.
Mm-hmm.
It does. So somebody could walk past and go, oh, somebody's going to Uganda. You look at these little Black girls going to Uganda. It's beautiful. Now, at the end of the book, I don't want to give it away because I want our listeners, to read it. But at the end of the book, you kind of talk about going somewhere else. So is there going to be another book?
There is going to be 8 books.
All right. So we get to see you 8 more times.
Love it.
So in my thought process, I wanted them to travel, and so you're sitting at home in your little neighborhood, you thinking everything is impossible. But when you go inside this book and you read these pages, I want you to know that you can travel to the 7 continents of the world.
Exactly.
And so that's one of my premises, is that they're going to Antarctica. So they're going to every continent on this planet. And it's going to be an 8th book because I got invited to a couple things, actually. So the Ugandan Wildlife Authority is on board with my book.
Okay.
Wow.
So I'm in contact with the Director of Tourism and Business Development, and they're talking movies and documentaries, and then I just recently met. I know, incredible. I just recently met this other one. It's called My Gorilla Family, and it's bringing technology into conservation. And I'm like, look, this is the perfect marriage between my book, technology, and conservation. So
wow. Show it again. See, okay. Yeah. Viewers on Facebook can see this beautiful book. And oh my goodness. Podcast people, y'all got to get this book too.
The Wildlife Divas Adventure Team. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I'm on all of them. So
yeah. Our people need to get this book.
Yeah,
they really do.
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
you are the epitome of what our show is about. Having you come and tell your story, and like nobody else can tell it like you can, and giving you a platform to share your works. And I see that you're going to go so much bigger than this. Just remember Authors Up. Just remember authors
Look,
up when you get out there.
Just take us
I-
with you. I'll accept Antarctica. We'll go with you
Okay.
Yeah.
everywhere else.
Well, as a matter of fact, I'm going back to Uganda. They invited me back in May to
Awesome.
this gorilla festival, and they're going to do a book launch on national television
Ah,
for me and my book. So
Oh,
it,
that's
This is
awesome.
there for me in my book.
oh my goodness. Yes, mind
my
blown.
mind is
Mind
blown.
blown. Pooh.
Yes, yeah.
You know, this is what I like so much about our program, guys. The stories behind the stories,
Mhm.
Yes.
behind the stories, behind the authors, and just it's just amazing, the things that happen, the things that go on, the journey
Yes.
that people go through to take the words from here and put them on paper and put them on a book, in a book. And that poor lady that rejected you, bless her little heart,
Wow.
boy, she opened up a huge door for you.
She did.
Yes.
She closed one for herself. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, indeed. And to see so many people coming on board. You know, I didn't, before your book, realize that these organizations existed to this
Wow.
extent. And to think that they would be able to tap into what you have and what you have done in a way that will just, you know, help what their efforts are to explode. That is absolutely mind blowing, Lisa.
Amazing.
That
It's
is
amazing.
phenomenal. And oh my goodness. Mm.
And then I had the nerve to meet a gorilla doctor. A
Oh.
doctor who actually goes out into the rainforest. I could go on, and I have so many stories to tell.
Oh my
You can do
goodness.
another hour with me, and there's still more to tell.
Oh my goodness.
Well, you'll be back. So don't
Yeah.
say them and put them
I
in the
will.
room. Don't say this next time I go, I'm gonna tell them about this.
Yes. Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful.
What a journey. What a journey.
Whew,
It's a
I tell
journey.
you what, Lisa, we're almost out of time, but there's so much that you have shared with us tonight. We need to do a segment, guys, called Beyond the Book.
Yes. Yes.
Because
Yes.
you have given us some life lessons. You've
Mm-hmm.
given us some wisdom nuggets. You've given us a delightful story, and all that's beyond the book, beyond the
Yeah.
words that you have written that will encourage and inspire and just make a tremendous impact on young girls and their parents and all those associated with. I can't wait to sit down with some little girl and read to
Yeah.
them about the wildlife divas. And I love
Mhm.
that title, let me tell you.
That's it. That's it.
Love
So
it.
I'm actually going to be reading on the 22nd with Black authors. So I'm going to be reading live, and then I have my virtual book launch on the 24th.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Well, we have to get connected. I'm definitely going to connect to your
Absolutely.
Facebook
Absolutely.
and
Make sure
Instagram.
that we have it so that we can get it out and let our listeners know about it. It just, what a delight you have been, Lisa. Thank
Mhm.
you
Thank
so
you.
much for being
You're
with us.
Thank you.
If there are there any final nuggets that you want to leave with our listeners, either about writing the stories, little girls, gorillas, I don't know.
So what I want to do is thank you, ladies, for what you do. You know, for bringing, because I couldn't do this on my own. I'm too quiet to bring this to the forefront. So I'm thankful for you and what you do, and helping me bring my story forward, and letting children know, because it is my inspiration to inspire little girls to be something they never thought they could be. And that's the truth.
Yes, thank
just
you.
phenomenal.
Francina
welcome.
says, thank you, Lisa, for sharing, living your best life and enjoying your journey. What an adventure. We're
Yes.
going to
I
have to
love
have
it.
the adventures of Lisa M. Randall.
I know. You need to write that book too.
That's another book.
I have a thought.
Mhm.
Well, ladies, do you have any final comments to make tonight?
Just my usual one. Iolani actually did it, so I need everybody. Just email us. We're kind of full for the year, but we're we'll make space for you. So we would love to hear your
No.
story. We'd love to share your book, whether it's you're the author or someone else. So just email us,
Amen.
authorsup@gmail.com.
Yes.
Yeah. And Victoria, you know your famous last words.
My famous last words is get the book, but I just love what our author shared with us tonight. It made me think of that poem, Don't Quit. You know, rest if you must, but just don't quit. You can take a rest, but don't quit. And that spoke to my heart tonight, you know, to keep going. Well, thank you.
Yes, and my final words are good night.
No, that's right.
I got nothing else. This was a surprise to me. I just wasn't expecting to hear all these wonderful things that you have done, Lisa. And usually, you know, we get into the book and the story. We don't get into the life of the author like you shared with us tonight. And I am so, so grateful for that. Thank you so, so much for being with us. You hang out there for a little bit. Listeners, that is it for us for tonight. And you know, we are here every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. We do a replay every Saturday at 7 p.m. So if you miss Lisa today, you can tune in right here, ALH Broadcasting on Saturday evening, and you can, you know, share this broadcast with someone else, because this has been just more than we expected, and we are glad that we had an opportunity to share Lisa with you tonight. So until next week, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week, and we will see you right back here, hopefully at 7 p.m. on Sunday evening, because you never know what's going to happen.
What's going to come on? Night, Prince girls.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Good night. Thank you.